Alex, and this is Travel TitBits 25. It's time to go back to space. And as a kid, I always remember watching Star Trek, you know, the final frontier. We will boldly go where my old man has gone before. And hopefully women will also join us on such a quest. So, but let's just talk about one place. On a previous mission, we talked about going to the moon. Let's talk about going to Mars. Yes, a once crazy, futuristic notion, going to Mars. We used to think that the little green men would come down and invade Earth. And a good job we haven't seen any recently. But really, let's talk about the main building blocks. Getting there, you know, the power to reach such a long distance. A man called Elon Musk, who first built BFMs and now dreams of launching his first unmanned starship. He's already proved that he can send up returnable rocket boosters. In fact, pretty much everything he sends up can come back to Earth and be reusable. And each version that returns is being improved each time. And the more that comes back, the cheaper space travel becomes. And the whole point of this starship is basically bigger and further. And it is hoped by Elon that he will have thousands of operating starships. And between them, they will be able to send people and consumables to Mars. That will be its first task. But how long does it take to get there? How long did you say? Well, depending on the nearness of Mars. After all, it rotates the sun just like we do, but it just takes a little bit longer. And at its nearest point, it is 8 months, and at its furthest point, 2 years. Oh, for goodness sake, you wouldn't want to forget your keys, would you? So, having made the journey, where on earth would we live? Well, to begin with, we're going to have to take our own houses. Or I don't suppose we'll call them houses, but we'll need a place to live and all the kit and all the consumables, absolutely everything. But I don't suppose it will be us that goes first, because Elon has another plan, and that is to build bots. A fancy word for robots, but humanoid in design. And of course, being machines and programmed by us, they'll be able to do things for us. And, well, on an alien type environment, well, alien to us at least, it should not be alien to robots. So they will be our first inhabitants of Mars. So what else is going to be important? Well, I've listened to programs, and one that was most interesting was learning about the strongest molecule in the universe. Basically, it's a 32-sided molecule, and when it joins up with similar 32-sided molecules, it forms this magnificent structure, this unbreakable structure. And the most common version of that we have on Earth are snowflakes. Yes, they seem so gentle and fragile, but it's when they all group together that they form this powerful structure, which is basically why you don't want to get caught in a snowstorm or snow falling down a mountainside, because people who get caught in them, unless they get out quick, are generally in a very tricky situation indeed. And it's this very structure that could well form the structures that we'll need on planets like Mars, because unlike on Earth, yes, we do get the odd windy day, but we never get winds as fast as 1,000 miles an hour, which can occur on Mars. So a normal house may not be sufficient to accommodate 3 men, 2 dogs and 3 cats. They'll need to be much stronger. So certainly the strongest known molecule in the universe will be extremely useful, not just for us, but for our robot friends too. So, okay, we are as safe as houses, but what about, can anybody live there? Well, we believe, or the scientists believe, they have detected regions of frozen water, and because all our planets in our solar system are related in various different quantities of the same properties exist on all the planets as far as we know, in different quantities. So theoretically water can be either drinkable or made to be drinkable, and by definition ought to be be able to use it to grow things. Fuel in enough quantity will enable us to generate enough energy so we don't need to take it with us, and most importantly we'll be looking for methods of creating lots of oxygen, which will be needed when we show up. So some jobs for the bots, as they say. A rumour online hints at the possibility of actual human habitation on Mars by the year 2029. So the idea is to let the bots make all the mistakes first before we get there. Sounds like a damn good idea to me. But I suppose you may also be wondering is why? Why do we want to go to Mars? It seems such a barren and dusty red place. Well, firstly, it's not like the moon. I mean, let's face it. You can look at the moon and it looks like someone's kicked the what's it out of it. Somebody really doesn't like the moon. I mean, there's just so many holes in it. I mean, there probably are 1 or 2 holes on Mars. And maybe it's because we can't see them. We think Mars in comparison must be a very smooth and habitable place once we get our hands on it. But the universe as we know it is a universe without known limits, either space or resources. Unlike Earth, where we seem to be constantly squabbling over space and resources, the universe offers the complete opposite. So mastering that environment has obvious benefits long term. Like I say, even your worst enemy can have a solar system to themselves, and the likelihood of you bumping into them is highly unlikely. So yeah, maybe there are a lot more benefits than we are thinking of. But going back to little green men, the fact that there's so little gravity, at least on the planets that we can reach, it's believed that once humans start living and habitating other places, it's believed that the human form will evolve into something a little different to the ones that we're used to. So that perhaps first or second generation humans of the future may not be able to visit Earth. They may shrivel up a little and be only used to low or zero gravity. So maybe when we thought of the little green men, we were just thinking about our future selves. We just didn't know it. Well, it's food for thought, and many of the subjects I've raised will no doubt could write books upon. It might not get in your next travel brochure, but who knows what the future may hold. See you on the next one.